y'all doing? My name is Shy, and I'm gonna do some erotic clothes here tonight.
Got the paper.
DJ, oh yeah. When I'm home alone with my thoughts, I sometimes begin to fantasize about you, doing what you do best, being good at being bad. I visualize you standing before me, scantily clad, memories of you being a bellatrix merged with fantasies of you as a dominatrix. I see your fingers intertwined with your dew-covered pubic hair, laying your sex open and your intimate parts bare. My hand reaches out to touch your leg, but you jerk it away because you want me to beg. I want to lick your body from head to feet. I begin my journey downward, briefly stopping to listen to the rhythmic beat of your heart. There, momentarily, my head comes to rest as my lips kiss the hard nipples of your silky, smooth breast. My body tingles and my head is overtaken with lust, and I'm ready to perform cunnilingus. My tongue begins to lick and suck. Your body, overcome by multiple orgasms, starts to buck. You reach out to stroke my throbbing penis with your satin gloved hand, and we both realize that this shit isn't just sex. This shit is uninhibited, organic love, and then your lips encircle me as my body is filled with the joy of ecstasy. Thank you.
One more.
Yeah, you keep playing. This is, I call this the Red Moon Trilogy, Part 1, The Jump Off. Everything took on a dreamlike sequence as he turned to face the foyer that led to the room with the red door. There was an ambient feel that permeated his surroundings, and the short hairs on the nape of his neck crackled with a static anticipation. He somehow sensed, inexplicably, that something special was going to happen here tonight. There was definitely something afoot here, or maybe the word should be underfoot, because he slowly came to the realization that he was standing on a freshly laid carpet of rose petals that ran the length of the hallway. And as his eyes acclimated themselves to the low lighting, he noticed a heart-shaped envelope hanging from the ceiling. He took the billet door down and scanned the red-lettered words on it. It began with a precursor that stated, "Warning. Unless you're prepared to take a walk on the wild side, do not read any further." It's still reading. Oh, okay. I guess that means that you're ready to experience the most exciting night of your life. Are you sure? Okay then, let's begin. First, strip down to your birthday suit. Done. Look to your left. See that small box on the table? Take the blindfold out and put it on. No, wait. Before you do that, get down on all fours and tap the wall 3 times to let me know that you're ready for the jump off. Then put it on. Now the fun begins. Part 2, the red moon. After the final tap resounded through the house, the sound of door hinges creaked as it was opened, releasing the aromatic smell of cinnamon incense into the air. The soft melodic strings of Simply Red was playing in the background, and he heard a dull thud as something landed near his hands. Instinctively, he reached out and picked up what felt like a velvet rope. A sexy voice with just the slightest hint of a purr told him to follow this lifeline to the end. He intended to do exactly as he was instructed in hopes of finding the things that fantasies were made of waiting for him. As he reached the end of his rope, he surmised that his mattress had tied it around her dainty small waist because it was suspended mid-air. His olfactory nerves were overwhelmed by her pheromones, and in response to the slight tug of the rope, he lurched upward and forward. He was still on his knees, and even though he couldn't see, he knew that his face was only inches from the V-shaped gap between her legs, which awaited his attention. Dropping the rope, he took hold of her full hips, allowing his voluptuary desires to take over as he leaned in close to taste the fruits of her Garden of Eden. He slowly and ever so lightly began to touch his lips to the freshly bikini-waxed area of her body in a kissing motion. His lips tingled from the chocolate-flavored oil with a cherry tang which she had anointed herself with. Yes, he thought, I'm gonna have my cake and goddamn, I'm gonna eat it too.
Eat that cake.
He traced his name letter by letter in the sensitive area at the apex of her inner thigh like a tattoo. Essentially branded her because he knew that when he had finished tonight, she would be spoiled for life. He allowed the tip of his rolled probe to moisten the blobby protuberance that had increased in size threefold since they had begun. She hesitated, briefly forgetting who was supposed to be in charge here, before grabbing his dreadlocked hair and grinding her pelvis into his face. Then she started speaking in tongues, calling forth the spirit of her inner succubus, and he answered back, telling her how much he loved her, and specifically this newfound side of her freaky personality. Even if she had been listening, she would not have been able to discern what he was saying, since his mouth was buried deep into her bush. The muffled sound of his voice caused vibrations to emanate from his moving lips, which then cascaded onto her swollen vulva, sending both of sexually charged energy throughout her sweat-drenched body as she collapsed backwards onto the edge of the bed. Her entire frame shuddered, and he moved closer to accommodate her reposing figure. Part 3. This is the eclipse. Her entire frame shuddered, and he moved. Oh, I did that part, didn't I? He separated her trembling legs, placing one of them atop his shoulder as he continued to kiss her slowly and methodically, prolonging her agony and ecstasy until he thought she was on the verge of passing out. Then just as she let out a scream that rattled the glass doors of their penthouse terrace, he slid his tongue deep inside of her. She went through a series of spasmodic convulsions, and her head thought that it was going to explode from the relentless oral manipulations that he showered upon her. She lied there trying to calm herself as the convulsions began to subside. After a while, her weight shifted as she lightly brushed his head aside so she could pull him up and onto the king-size bed. He knew from the way the mattress moved that she had assumed a position somewhere between his spread-eagled legs and his semi-flaccid member jerked to attention. Wasting no time in reciprocating the same doting detail to him that he had bestowed on her, she wrapped the loose end of the velvet rope around his now fully erect penis, leaving the glistening crown exposed. Holding one end in each hand, she began to soar it back and forth. The heat generated from that action elicited a growling, guttural sound from somewhere deep down inside of him. He tried to concentrate on the sensations swirling around him, but his thoughts drifted for a minute as he mused aloud that he could have never imagined this thing she was doing to him would feel so damn good. The velvety stroke of the rope had so totally captivated him that he hadn't even noticed that she had stopped, and she was now giving him an entirely different kind of rope burn. His blindfold had loosened, and he could now see that the room was bathed in a soft red glow, which was matched by a similar color streaming through the glass doors. Then he remembered that there was supposed to be some type of lunar eclipse where the moon was to become red, and as he turned his eyes to look towards the open doors, he came upon the most beautiful sight in the world. It was a perfectly sculpted ass, which was doing a pretty good job of eclipsing the moon also. He closed his eyes and rolled out this heavenly experience to the end, somehow feeling that no matter what they did this night would never be duplicated because things like this only happen once in a red moon. Thank you.